What's going on, guys? It is Coach Sauce bringing you Week 4's game against none other than newcomer Alex and the Ambipom All-Stars. So I'm going to tell you straight up, right from the get-go, I give everybody the same level of respect, newcomer, vet, rival, anyone. I'll always team prep the same, anything. So that was one of the keys here to this game, especially, was making sure that, just because Alex is a newcomer, it doesn't mean we take him lightly. And I'm going to tell you straight up that the game itself, spoilers, was probably like one of the toughest games I've ever played in general, and especially this season. It's probably the toughest game I've played. And just straight up props to Alex being newcomer and coming in and just coming out swinging, to be honest. So it was an absolute epic of a game, but more on that later. Let's go check out the team that I brought this week against the All-Stars. So coming in here, we noticed that Alex likes to start things off usually with that pesky Mind Fu. He's got a lot of cool picks on his team. A lot of speedy threats, actually. He's got like Deerling, Fletchling, Mind Fu, a very speedy, newly acquired Meowth-Alola, which is kind of cool. But that was the big issue, was that he had a lot of speedy guys. So we start off here with Prince Hippo. We have a weakness policy. Yes, we're pulling out the memes. And we're going max HP and a little bit in special defense. Just had to calc it out so that we could basically live any super effective hit. And if he's starting off with Mind Fu, he's gonna either carry that new U-turn or knockoff. So we're banking on that. Basically, what we do, we just set up Trick Room, and then Prince Hippo, the Slowpoke, is so slow that he should be able to outspeed everything after that. And so investing the rest of the EVs, 120 into special attack so we can get Surf, Flamethrower, and stored power because of those bonuses. So that was going to be like my ace out the back foot right away. Just get a little bit of inspiration here from Wilfy coming out swinging hot. So that's Prince Hippo. Next up, Swagby, our tier 1. Just a high speed Pokemon, very versatile in terms of attack, special attack. Wanted to bring a Life Orb since it basically outspeeds anything that's not Scarfed or is Meowth. So pack in Overheat, Thunder Punch, Psychic, Brick Break, just a little bit of a mixed attack set with max speed. After Swagby, we have Drilbur. Wanted to bring a Focus Sash on this guy just in case we decided to lead it, but either way, it's always good to have just so that it can reliably survive a hit. He doesn't really have any hazard setters on his team, so the Focus Sash was kind of a nice security. So we're just having Stealth Rock, as a couple of his Pokemon are weak to it, as well as Earthquake, Shadow Claw, and Rock Slide to round things off. Along with him, we will pair Big Ol' Stank, this time bringing an Assault Vest. Thought about trying some like Gluttony Berry shenanigans, but ultimately decided just to play it a little safe. Kind of glad we did, as this thing, we put just a tiny bit into special defense just so it can be doubled, but just going for our pure simple attacks like Knockoff, Pursuit, Shadow Sneak, and Power Up Punch as a cool alternative. So max HP, max attack here. After that, we have Sir Squishy, our Shelmet, our Eviolite boy. Notice that, if we can get some nice hazards up against him, he doesn't really have a Rapid Spinner, which is cool. So figured that we could just set up some free hazards, as haven't really seen him deal with them in the previous weeks. So that was our game plan here. Again, mixed defenses. He has quite a lot of special attackers, surprisingly. So that was something to be wary of. So having just Recover, Infestation, Toxic, and Spikes. Just your classic trap and lay spikes, damage over time set. And lastly, Dane Cook coming in, Junior, with the Choice Scarf. Volt Switch is key. Volt Switch is honestly such a good move. Very good for revenge killing. You can just go in, quickly Volt Switch, get out. As well as Dark Pulse for that Phantump, that Frillish, just in case, you know, since we're locked into one move, we want to make sure that it counts. As well as having Thunderbolt and Surf to kind of round things off. So that's the team. And we'll just head right into this game because I'm not gonna lie, it was intense. So we have ourselves against Goodry, aka Alex, Ambipom All-Stars, and myself, the Sauce Boss here with the Raichu. So starting off, I see he's brought the Mindfu, and we're just gonna try and play it out. You know, we prepped for this. Let's go. Music. Jeez. Rookie hour. Okay. He's coming in. U-turns. This is perfect. We get off the weakness policy. In comes Magnemite. Trick Room. We're feeling great. We get off a Flamethrower. But I completely forget that this thing has Sturdy. I thought it was going to maybe be like an analytical set. So, he has Sturdy. And he's easily able to just get off a Volt Switch. And my ambitions of getting a Prince Hippo sweep are basically nullified. And we're already down 6-5. So, this was not cool. This was not cool, Alex. Yeah. Forgot about Sturdy. And it came back to bite me for sure. So that was a very good play. So we figure our best defense against a Mindfu is the Shelmet, as it can tank a hit like you see. But unfortunately we get our Eviolite knocked off, which is kind of a big deal. Probably the best item in this format, as you're all aware. So he can't really touch me. So I'm just figuring like, hey, let's just get up free hazards. Like, this is sweet. But in comes Twitty. And he defogs. This man is learning. This man is adapting. All of my hard work on setting things up, gone. Just gone. And it's not like I can touch this thing. I got like Infestation, maybe a Toxic. So we're kind of sad. We're kind of getting outplayed really hard, to be honest. So I just take this moment to recover some health back, as I thought he was going to go for an attack right away. Turns out, defogs. So I can't just stay in here and be at this thing's mercy. So I take the time to switch into something I think can resist the incoming flying attack. And that is my electric boy, Dane Cook Jr. He obviously doesn't want to switch. Or sorry, he does switch because he doesn't want to take a full-on attack. I kind of predict that he's going to do this, so I go for the safe Volt Switch, and we take out the 1% Magnemite. So that's, I guess, a consolation prize. We are now at 5-5. So I'll just go in with Big Ol' Stank just to try things out. He goes for Dig. Interesting. He has a Power Herb. He gets a 1-turn Dig. This guy is coming out with the strats I honestly could not prepare for it. So I'm already at below 50% health thanks to that Dig, and I'm just simply getting knockoffs here. So I get the knockoff off, luckily get the poison, which is actually very crucial, as you'll see coming in. So Big Ol' Stank is kind of at the mercy of Mindfu. So knowing that he's in Dig, we get the safe switch into Shelmet, and I kind of figure he's going to switch into Fletchling, so I make the read and fire off a Toxic, just to make sure that I can start at least getting some damage on this thing. That way Gale Wings can't be in effect. Dual Wing Beat comes out. Does a lot of damage now that I don't have Eviolite. So I just am honestly going to try and Toxic Saw this thing as long as I can, because nothing really wants to take a stab dual wing beat from Fletchling. So we're just gonna let this play out. The toxic is ticking. We are slowly getting worn down. This thing is breaking Sir Swishy in half. And we're just like, we're kind of celebrating a little, because we're like, oh, this next toxic tick, like, we're gonna basically trade here after this is what's gonna happen. But the Agua Berry procs, giving this thing some more longevity. Sir Squishy goes down, and now I have to just basically come in and deal with this. Luckily, we got our ace, Dankhook Jr., cleaning up kills. It's another one. It is now 4-4. We Volt switch out and go back into Grimer. Grimer is here, and we know that the dig is coming, so we just try and get at least a little bit of chip damage off with Shadow Sneak. And there's nothing on my team that wants to take a dig from a Mindfu, so we just kind of let Big Ol' Stank die, which honestly feels pretty bad, because like it's like the inevitable dig. You can't really do anything. You're just kind of sitting there going, yep, this is about to happen. So down goes Grimer. Big Ol' Stank is now dead. And Mittens, proven to be quite the fighter. So we've taken this time to bring out Magby. Get out the Thunder Punch in case he wanted to swap. Doesn't want to, which makes sense. Nothing really wants to take a full-on attack from Swagby, especially with no information. And he's seen that I've tried to run some belly drum shenanigans in the past, so makes sense that he stays in. In comes Frillish, sees the Thunder Punch. I have a feeling this thing is scarfed, or at least he's run that in the last games he's played. So I'm gonna make a read here and go into Helioptile. Luckily, we make the prediction. We get the dry skin heal, and he's what I think is just locked in. We go for a Dark Pulse expecting the switch, but the Citrus Berry gets harvested, gets used. But unfortunately for him, Tree Trunk kind of stunk, as Dark Pulse is just enough damage to clean him up. So Dankhook kind of proving his worth here quite a bit. In comes Kitty, and we can't really stay in because we're probably just gonna die. And looking at his last two threats, I need the speed against the speed and the typing to deal with that Frillish, as well as this Meowth. So I use this turn to go into Magby. He hits us with a Hidden Power Fighting, I'm assuming. Goes into Frillish. Go into Brick Break. Get absolutely predicted. Great swap on his part. So that does nothing. And I predict another... This turn took quite a while. I thought he was going to go for the Water Spout again and maybe do some mind games. As well, I just realizing that Helioptile against Frillish, Water Ghost versus Electric Normal, quite the counter. So not only do we absorb the Water Spout, we are immune to the Shadow Ball, which is awesome. And this gives us free range to just click Stab Thunderbolt, and we get a Para. Now, this feels really bad, because looking after the game, talking, the Meowth was scarfed, and it definitely outspeeds me. And so looking at the rest of my lineup here, it could have maybe been a completely different game if I don't get this paralyzed. So that does feel bad getting the hacks. I'm sorry that happened, but yeah, it feels bad, but it's part of the move. It sucks that it happened, but we get it. Kitty's paralyzed, gives us the chance to rattle off another Thunderbolt. And at this point, he's only got the Octo Ghost left, and we are able to just continually fire off Thunderbolts. clicks the energy ball, as it's one of the only moves it can probably use against us. Our Thunderbolt gets disabled, but we were gonna die anyways. Gets the crit, doesn't really matter too much. And we can go into Drilbur and clean him up with the Shadow Claw, knowing that we have a second life with the Scarf. So that is the game. So GG's again to you, Alex, and the Ambipom All-Stars. That was honestly such a tough game. It was one of those games where I was honestly on the back foot, I felt, for a lot of the time. It was just very hard to maneuver around your team, and you played that extremely well, so props to you. That was honestly probably the hardest game I had this season and for a while. So GG's again, you're making huge waves in the APDL, and I can't wait to get a rematch against you in playoffs, and hope that you have good luck against Noah next week, which will be pretty cool. But as for us, we move on to being 3-1 in the season, and we have our last game up against the Ventura Venusaurs, which will be pretty cool because I also have not played against Rambiboka either, so that'll be cool to kind of experience what it's like to play against them. So super looking forward to that game. But other than that, GG's. Thank you for watching. Yeah, if you haven't already, you know, like, subscribe, and do all the super awesome sellout YouTube things if you guys don't mind, as it's really fun making these videos, and I'm glad you are all watching and taking time out of your day to see me play some Pokemon. So pretty cool. Honestly, looking forward to next week's game, and hopefully we can close out the season with a decent record going to playoffs. So thanks again, guys, and go Raichu. Peace out.